Warning! This podcast contains soccer.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 11, Pablo and Jessica. I am your host, Cleo, and with me I have John and Dom. Hello, boys.
How's it go?
Hello, girl.
Hello, boys! Yeah, so we were wrong last week about who Pablo and Jessica are.
Yeah.
Well, we were right about who Jessica was, not about who Pablo was. So Jessica is the dead bride. Oscar is her groom.
Yeah.
And Pablo is Luciana's brother.
Yep.
Who was missing, now found dead. So I like that the title tied the two groups together.
Yeah, for sure.
These being two very important and very dead members of each group. And how it's, this whole show kind of, and even The Walking Dead proper, handles grief. But, this was an interesting...
I hate that term, proper.
Walking Dead proper, that is...
I know that's what
I'm not the only one
I didn't say you are the only one. I just said I hate the term. I didn't say you coined it.
Let's call it The Walking Dead plopper. Because it's funny.
I just, I don't know. It's I call this show Fear, and I call the other show The Walking Dead.
This show's better than the main show.
I think so. I honestly think so.
I don't know, man. This one seems a little more plopper to me.
At the moment, I can't even argue with you because of how angry I was at last season.
I know.
Honestly, this season of Fear has been just fantastic.
Because this season of Fear has basically been 2 seasons of Fear.
Yeah.
Not only the fact that it's doubled the length, but they changed the theme during the break. The first theme was boats. This theme is Mexico.
Yeah.
I love it. It's kind of like what Once Upon a Time does, and we rag on Once Upon a Time for doing it, but it actually worked here, and they had a significant long break between the two halves of the season as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And I honestly think what makes this season work so well is that, we have 2 different themes, but there's one that's just been building in the background, and that's the culture of the dead.
Right.
We saw that in the beginning of the season. We're seeing it continue to grow, and how how people in the apocalypse are looking at the dead.
Yep. Not
just as the enemy, but as maybe
some don't even necessarily think they're dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Nick and Alejandro put their heads together and start cutting the Oxycontin or codeine, something. Oxys. Start cutting it with milk, powdered leche.
Powdered leche?
Yeah.
You're gonna spanify. That's a new word I just made up. You're gonna spanify the second word, the milk,
yes.
But you're not gonna spanify the powdered.
Yes.
Okay.
Spanify.
It's a new word. I just made it up. I just made it.
Yes, because I don't know the word for powdered in Spanish. So.
Got it.
Well, you'd say leche en polvo.
Leche con powdered.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. You would say milk that is
milk
leche
that
en
is
polvo
powdered,
is milk that is powdered, literally.
Yeah. Anyway.
Spanify.
You're such an idiot.
It's like Spotify, but for Spanish people.
That's exactly not what it is.
So Nick, the druggie, the addict, comes up with this. And he's like, yeah, it'll get them high quicker. It's like, all right. Until they need more quicker. And then you've dug yourself a hole. So we're at the point where they made the trade. So they just got this new, like, cut oxy. So they haven't had it yet. They haven't really
tested it.
Tested it, yeah. Gotten high with it. So I think time will tell whether or not cutting it was a good idea.
I think it is a good idea regardless because it buys time.
It buys time.
Any amount of time is still buying time.
Yeah, it buys time, but not if they're like, hey, this isn't right. You know, because if they're like, hey, this is
Nick
right,
said take it from the addict. They're going to be too high to not even notice. Like,
but it's not going to last as long. That's the thing.
No, I know that.
And they're going to know that.
He knows that.
I feel like they're smarter than...
But at that point, are you going to be thinking, oh, they tampered with it, or, oh, I'm building up tolerance to it?
Well, some of them are addicts already.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
To an addict, that's not their mentality of, you fucked with it. Like, that's not the first thing that pops into their head. They just want more. That's all they're concerned with.
Yeah. But I think the non-addicts among them, like, because the guy we saw, I don't know any of their names. We didn't get any of their names, right?
No.
So the guy we saw that found Nick out for stealing the Twinkie, his sister is an addict, but he seems like he's not. So I think that's a situation where he'll see his sister get sicker faster, or like want more faster, and then he'll be like, "Hey, you did something to this."
Yeah.
That's what I'm envisioning. And I'm probably like making this a big deal, but I don't think it's going to end up being.
No, I think it's going to be enough to just buy them some time. That's really all it's going to come down to. Not a whole lot of time, but some extra time. If you looked at the product that they had before and the product that they ended up with, it's definitely going to buy time.
I think if you get the mob pissed off at you, all the time you buy means very little.
Hey, when you listen to Fools, the mob rules. Quoth the Dio.
Quoth the Dio.
He Spanified that.
So Alejandro tells us the story of his bite, like a bit more in depth of how he got his bite. And he goes into a zombie horde to pull out a drugged out kid, a drugged out teenager or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to bet, and obviously I'm a cynic, but I'm willing to bet that kid he was trying to pull out wasn't the only junkie in the crowd. And that Alejandro just got bit.
Bit by a meth head.
By a meth head, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking, because it's like, I don't think there's any way in hell you got bit by a dead guy's mouth and were totally cool after that. Unless that guy brushed his teeth right before he died. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Or somebody brushed his teeth after he died.
Like, he literally brushed his teeth, choked on the toothbrush, and then turned into a zombie, and then immediately bit him.
Yeah.
Or somebody fed the zombies breath mints.
And it's... Alejandro just seems... A, crazy. But B, sincere. So I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's using this to control people. I think it's just what he actually believes, and it's probably false.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll see his true colors once push comes to shove.
Yeah.
Like if the town is really threatened, La Colonia, sorry.
Yes, we have a name.
Really maybe we'll see his true leadership abilities, I guess.
Right.
Or his true intentions, or whatever.
Or if he thinks he's like, I'm a god, I can't die, and then gets immediately shot in the face.
I love when that shit happens.
He was on The Talking Dead. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch that.
Yes.
He was.
Yeah, and basically the way Chris Hardwick, he worded something, and then he like looked at him immediately, questioning the bite, trying to read his face on it, and he had such Lady Gaga's poker face going on, like stone face.
That's why I was like, "There's something you can't tell us." Sir.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it you can't tell us?
Exactly. So that is what's making me suspicious of it. So I was leaning toward the possibility of it may be a real bite from a zombie. It may be. I'm not saying it was. It may. There's a possibility, and the fact that someone can be immune from it. It's possible. Yes. It's plausible.
Yes, we have.
But
we did mention that last week too.
Right, and just sitting in the chair and wording and the answer that wasn't an answer is just like, no, he's lying. Like that instantly made me think that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean. Yeah, it could be that he is immune to whatever is in the zombie saliva that causes you to get the fever.
Right, that's like me.
But when he dies, he's probably going to turn into a zombie.
I'm not allergic to mosquito bites like people are. I get the because of the Novocaine type thing in their saliva that they have from the initial bite, I get the bump immediately. But within 5 to 10 minutes, the bump goes completely away. I have no trace of a mosquito bite. So, I'm not allergic to mosquito bites. 99% of the population, just an arbitrary number I'm throwing out there, are allergic to mosquito bites. Get them really bad and get them for a very long time. So, it's possible that somebody may not be allergic to the saliva in the zombies,
Yeah. I mean, it absolutely is possible that, like, in all of humanity, there's not one person with the right genetic mutation that doesn't get affected by the virus. That happens all the time.
We have people that have the reverse type of genetics that, like, they can't go out in the sun or they can't drink water. Like, there are people out there that have these issues, that they're legitimately allergic to these things.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
It's just super unlikely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Maddie and Strand, drunken barroom brawl, gore up. I like that term. They have a term for it now because it's been happening so much in the show. So goring up, and then they made their way through like the crowd of zombies, and you're like halfway through. I forgot that they were drunk, and then Strand like stumbles, and I was like, oh yeah, they're still pretty drunk.
Yeah, we'll bet.
Yeah, they gotta past these fucking zombies.
Just a touch drunk.
Just a little drunk. And they made their way to the spa. They were in the spa. It was just why they, looked all nice by the morning time.
Mm-hmm.
So they took a little bath. Not all gory anymore.
Yeah.
And that's where they were when was it Alicia?
Yes.
The other two?
Hector.
And the maid.
Hector and Elena. There we go.
Elena, yeah. How could I forget that name?
Hector and Elena.
Is it Helena or Elena?
Elena.
I think it's Elena. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
That's how that happened.
Yeah.
And you know how you mentioned, like, I remember you said last time, like, Maddie was acting a little weird?
Yeah.
It's because she was probably still drunk.
Hungover. Yeah, no, that's what he said. You're nursing
drunk.
a massive tequila hangover, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
that's
don't talk too loud.
What did they take a quick shower?
No, they because we didn't see it turn night for Maddie and Strand, but the whole night passed.
Okay. Well,
when we see Alicia?
Did you hear?
And she's doing her butterfly knife tricks. It's nighttime.
We were talking about Maddie and Strand hooking up. Like, I know that was something that we were talking about. Like, it was either last week or the week after or before. And Strand threw a comment about getting a couple's room because it would be safer or something, or more comfortable, or one of those two. And I was just like, that line just stuck out to me because I'm like, that's not an arbitrary throwaway line. Like, that's something that's foreshadowing, you know?
Smoke sniff each other's balls.
Not saying that they are going to be a couple, but I think it's going to cause conflict when everybody meets back up again.
Yeah, right. We haven't seen Chris and Travis again in a little while.
No.
Yeah, so. Just this episode.
Wonder how they're doing.
Probably not good. If I were to hazard a guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, Strand and Maddie go up to negotiate with the guests.
Oscar.
And his mother-in-law. And his brother. Well, yeah, to be fair, she did watch her daughter die in front of her, so. Yeah. Killed by her husband. So that's not going to leave a scar into. I'm sure she's fine. But she negotiated like a badass.
She did.
And she got the keys back. She didn't make it through to the mother, but I think she, made an impact on the rest of them.
I think she still made it through to the mother. Like, not at that exact moment, but we saw, between Maddie and Alicia with the everything they were doing to get the zombies and hurting them through the docks and everything, we saw her looking out the window at everything going on. And there was just this kind of look like, okay, maybe we need them,
Yeah. Yeah. And it was funny when when they were herding the zombies out onto the pier, and Oscar, or I forgot it was Oscar or Oscar's brother, they close and bar the door.
Yeah.
For a second, I didn't know if they were part of the plan. I'm like, or is that part of the plan, or are you being a dick? What's going on?
Well,
which one is it?
The way I looked at it is he closes this door and he locks it, and it's just two giant full-length glass panels. I was like, that's not gonna stop the zombies, let alone the people. Whatever you're doing with that, whether you're part of the plan or not,
Well, I think it was just to stop the stragglers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
File in.
That makes the most sense.
Yeah. But anyway, Alicia comes up with that plan. Finding the sign.
When she's wading out into the water and she's getting toppled over, she could barely stand, I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And then she looked up at the sign and it's strong undertow, and I'm like, oh, so she's seeing how bad she could struggle, standing here, and she had to shift her weight properly and everything to keep herself balanced. So a zombie's not going to be able to walk when they're not trying to keep proper balance.
Mm-hmm.
Just get dragged out to sea.
Yeah, which presumably is what happened. We don't see any of them wash up on shore, so they're all out to sea. Which, are they just going to be there for all eternity?
Yeah.
Until they literally just melt?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Because if the more they decompose, limbs are going to just fall off,
Well, we've seen zombies that have been stuck in water before. What was it, season 2? There was a zombie in the bottom of the well on the farm. They bloat.
But this is salt water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's going to decay. That's going to cause them to decay faster.
That's true. And there's possibility that they could also wash up on shore just because there's an undertow there.
Somewhere else, yeah.
Doesn't mean, they can't wash up somewhere else.
Yeah. But it at least gets rid of the bulk of them. So apparently they did the whole...
Sharks.
Apparently they did the whole hotel?
With spoons.
Yeah, but I don't know how they were fast enough to get every floor and just keep going.
I mean...
It didn't really make sense to me.
Depending on how the hotel was set up and everything, you could just go one by one, open the doors, jam them, have all the zombies go down a stairwell, herd all the zombies in the stairwell, open the door, pry that open every door in the way, go the opposite length of the hotel.
I get the order in which things are done. I don't get how they were fast enough to do it. I don't think they would have been fast enough to do every single floor. Just the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were waiting for the zombies to hey, come out the door. I'm in the hallway. So they just have to open the door, really. So you could slide in, open the door, keep going at a quick pace. I don't know. It's not completely plausible, but it's doable.
Mm-hmm. I really I really loved Madison as the Pied Piper.
Yeah.
Just, like, leading them all down the duck.
All she needed was, like, a flute or,
She had the gong.
a recorder.
Could you do that again?
I'm a pro.
Your skills are unparalleled, sir.
Yeah,
There's no way to make that instrument sound good.
Yeah,
I've decided.
no, it's impossible. I have no idea how to play it.
My favorite part of The Talking Dead, besides listening to the actress who plays Luciana talk, was them going through the stunts they did for that jumping off the pier scene.
Not only the stunts that they did for that, but the stunts that the zombies did for that.
Because they just flopped, like,
40 feet!
40 feet! Like, I'm like, how did you all not break your necks?
Good stunt people.
Oh my god, yeah, good stunt people. Jesus, because I was just watching, like, they literally just did that.
Like, don't do it.
Don't do it. Like, they literally just flung themselves. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I commend them for doing that. That I mean, it looked amazing.
It did.
So.
Yeah. Definitely. And I love that the actress who plays Maddie just did it herself. That was pretty cool.
It's something they probably could have got away with doing, like, a 10-foot fall and CGI'd the rest of it to make it look better, but I don't think that's what they did.
No,
they all literally just fell 40 feet off the pier.
Bye.
If there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm bringing my recorder now. I'm going to play beautiful music for them.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
They'll actually walk away.
Zombies might leave.
Even in death.
You've cracked the apocalypse. You've done it.
Has anybody ever tried that ever in the history of zombies? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Flare a recorder in their face.
You'd be the first.
It's like Mars Attacks when the aliens, their heads explode when the country music's played. It's the same thing.
Was that what it was? I forgot.
No, it's Tom Jones.
Yeah.
It's Tom Jones?
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones is the key.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
So, Luciana finds out her brother's dead while they're playing soccer.
Yes.
Yeah. Her and Nick, I don't know. I feel weird about her and Nick's relationship, and I don't know why. Can't figure it out.
Them hooking up?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I called it a relationship.
Yeah.
They just kissed. It's literally all that happened.
Right.
They touched lips.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. They spooch. After she says, "Oh, people will talk," it's like,
yeah. Are you testing me?
She didn't give an answer to that.
No, she didn't. I think that was her instant, like, her defensive reaction. Like, I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to distract you instead.
Well, it worked.
It did.
It did. Also, him learning Spanish is adorable. That's going to be like me when I finally.
So you put on your socks.
Is that what I said? Because that's what I was trying to say.
At least one of them's trying to learn Spanish.
Yeah, seriously.
I know words, like here and there, and I know the basic, like, how to conjugate a verb, so, like, if you give me a verb and, like, dormir, which I know is to sleep, it's like dormio is I sleep,
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's the basic progression of conjugation, and every single verb follows that rule. It's not like English. English is really, you start thinking about it, we know it because it makes sense, but to learn it would be hell.
It's not impossible.
Oh, yeah.
So, Spanish actually makes sense. So when somebody's talking about something and I hear words that I kind of can pick up, like queso, I know is cheese, and, leche is milk, and things like that. Agua, like, I can pick up these things and I know what they're talking about to a degree. Like, basically, I'm just telling you right now, I know somebody's grocery list, but no, there's plenty of other words that I know, and I kind of get, what they mean. And I worked with people, that spoke nothing but Spanish, And, you know, I started learning what things meant in, like, a work environment. So, you know, it's kind of crazy. It's the kind of stuff you pick up like that.
Yeah. And now okay, so no, because my head, I don't know. I took French. And there are so many exceptions. There are so many exceptions to, like, the conjugation rules. Like, how many exceptions are there in Spanish?
6.
It's not as bad.
There's 6.
Yeah, because French was bad. It's like, oh, you conjugate them like this. But then there's this whole other fucking list of words that are conjugated differently.
Like,
I'm like, why?
The conjugations aren't like too like actually the word Dom said was a pretty good example. Like dormir is to sleep, but like, you know, if I was say hablar to speak, hablo is I speak, but dormir turns into dormio instead of like dormo.
Right.
So that's like about as hard as it gets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's not too bad. There's a few verbs that conjugate differently, but it's like not
I, you, we, us, they, and there's one other one, I think.
It's like the we formal, but you only use that in Portuguese.
Yeah, so
you don't really need that one.
Yeah, so technically there's 5. Well, technically there's 6, but there's only 5 you're actually going to use.
Yo, tú, usted, eres. Yeah, it's not like...
El queso es debajo de el perro.
Okay.
What does that mean?
The cheese is under the dog.
The cheese is under the dog?
I bet he's going to say that like in a threatening manner to like one of the cartel people. They're just going to be like...
Please, I would love that.
Do we shoot him or...
I don't know, he seems like an idiot.
He's too stupid to shoot. My mom always said, don't shoot stupid people.
I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of Spanish at all.
No, we're not.
No, of course not. I'm the idiot for not being able to speak it.
I just like picking out the mistakes in translation they do in the subtitles.
Yeah.
That's
right, because we'll talk about that scene later.
Some of it is blatant mistakes. Some of it, though, is like contextual, like there's no actual literal translation, and the literal translation does not mean what it originally meant.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dialects and all that.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I want to talk about before we talk about next week is Strand and Oscar. So everybody's having a feast, and they're like, we're going to wait for Oscar. And
Jessica.
Jessica's been dead a long time. So Strand goes up to talk to Oscar. And I mean, we thought that Alicia killed Jessica last episode, but that wasn't her. It's just some blonde bitch. Jessica's actually locked in the honeymoon suite. And
she's getting it on.
Huh?
She's getting it on.
And Oscar was I was surprised that Oscar let Strand go in there. Because at first he was very like, no, don't touch her. No one's going to touch her.
Well, it was Strand's whole conversation about, you know, one day you're going to wake up thinking as a different person, you know, and all that. And I think it was just like a harsh reality of, you're right, at some point I'm going to think that way. I don't think that way right now. I'm still reluctant, but I understand what you mean, and I just threw my phone on the ground. And you got to do that. It's a Note 7. It's going to blow up anyway.
I was going to say, did it explode?
You just pull the pin, baby.
Oh, you take the stylus out that's like pulling the pin, and then you stuck it?
I literally just threw my phone on the floor.
I know.
It's much funnier because I actually can't see the share screen, so I'm just getting all this noise.
I pulled the stylus out and then threw the phone on the floor.
Okay.
Well, as soon as the house that's on fire, we'll know.
I was gonna say something about Oscar.
What do you mean house? I'm on the beach.
Obviously, can't you tell?
That's what it sounds like when phones hit sand.
Yep.
I must have hit a seashell or a turtle.
Uh-huh. A bunch of plates that they just stacked on the beach.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, in the preview on The Talking Dead for next episode, it's a scene of a 3-person family trying to flee the Colonia because it's not safe.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I saw that scene, I was like, "Oh, it was just a matter of time." What happened? Why aren't they safe? I feel like we are going to find out because next episode is called Pillar of Salt. And at the Colonia, Alejandro reveals his darker side. A hotel resident becomes violent, and Madison springs into action.
Grandma's getting violent.
I hope. That'd be great. But yeah, I think we're gonna see why it's not quite so great at the Colonia. But Pillar of Salt's an interesting title because that's
you after watching the last season finale of Walking Dead.
Pillar of Salt. No, Pillar of Salt. It's part of a Bible story.
Yes.
And I didn't look it up. I forgot who it was, but she looks back.
Is it Sodom and Gomorrah, or am I thinking of a different one?
I don't remember.
Lot's wife.
She looked back at Sodom
and
and she becomes a pillar of salt.
Yeah, it was at Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what it was.
Yeah. So I am so I love the titles of all the Walking Dead episodes, and I love it when they mean something in the story, like this episode with Pablo and Jessica, and I just can't wait to really delve into why this next episode is going to be called Pillar of Salt. I'm so excited.
How many more episodes of Fear do we have?
How many we have is more than what's listed.
Right.
I think. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4.
15 up to 15 are listed.
And
we have 16 episodes, or
do we? Because look, the Wrath and North are both October 2nd.
No, we have 15. Yeah, we have 15.
We have 15. Okay, so we are having a 2-hour season finale.
Yeah.
Yay.
And then when does Walking Dead come back?
I think we're gonna have I feel like there's a 2-week gap because this is the first time in a long time that Walking Dead isn't coming back the same week of New York Comic Con.
Gotcha. Okay.
That next week, I think.
It's I'm not. I forgot. I don't have it written down.
Oh no.
What?
Season 7 Walking Dead, October 23rd. So yeah, there's a
there's
break there.
2-week gap, or 3-week gap.
3 weeks.
No, I was just trying to see the release date for next season of Walking Dead. It's October 23rd. Okay, I think it's October. No more action to get there.
Yep.
All right, so that's all I got. You guys good? You guys done?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, John, where can the people find you?
You can find me here, I guess, or at No More on Twitter.
Dom, your turn.
Find me at the beach blowing up my iPhone 7 at Phenomenon. My iPhone. My Note 7. PHENOMEDOM.
Do. You can find me at Cleomoto places. You can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for more podcasts and some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Until next time, bye guys.
If I did own an iPhone 7, I would still blow it up, so it doesn't really matter. I was right either way.
Yeah, it doesn't have a headphone jack, so it's gotta go right in the garbage.
Just like coleslaw.